It's Beer Monster O'Clock. Hello again, guys. We've got another budget-friendly beer for you here today. It's another one from the new Asda range of their craft beers that are only £1.30 each. And they're in the 4 for 3 deal, which makes them to 90-something pence per can, I believe. So, yeah, these are very handy in the current situation that a lot of us find ourselves in. So, got to be worth a review, haven't they? This one is their West Coast IPA, and I do like a West Coast IPA, kind of known for their nice bitterness and all that. Quite a basic can wrap again, like the other one that I did, which I forgot to give a score. Looking back, I'll give that a 7, by the way, if you did watch the last review. So let's see how this one compares. How can you forget to score it, Adam? Yeah, it's pretty basic can, isn't it? I mean, it don't matter. It's 1.30 a can. Well, sorry, it's 90 pence a can. All to keep the cost down, and that's fine with me. It says on the back, a intensely dry hopped IPA with American hops for intense flavours and aromas of mango and pineapple. Brewed exclusively for Asda, and it's brewed again for Asda, but by the 4 Pure Brewing Company based in Bermondsey, London. And that's quite a good brewery, so maybe budget, but they've got a good brewery behind them. You know, they're probably just making a few tweaks here and there so that they can sell it for the cheaper price, like the can, for example, and maybe just putting a few less certain things in than that. The other one did taste a bit budget friendly, but it was all right. Do you know what I mean? It was certainly nothing wrong with it. So I'm sort of expecting something along the same lines here. Anyway, so yes, a 330ml can, one of the little babies. It's 5.6% ABV, so it's got quite a good ABV level for that price as well. They haven't really skimped on that. Crack it open. Let's get the aroma. Straight away, I'm getting pineapple and grapefruit. Before I even got close to the can, that was just coming straight out. And that's about all, really, to be honest with you. Smells alright though, doesn't smell unpleasant or nothing like that. It smells sort of run of the mill, you know. Anyway, let's get it in the glass and see what it's like. There we go. It's a kind of golden colour. It's actually quite clear, actually. I wouldn't say crystal clear. It does have a very slight kind of cloudiness to it. I suppose you could call it a haze. Very slight haze in there. Very, I'd say medium carbonation, but very slow moving bubbles in this one. It's almost like they're in slow motion. It's not always a bad thing though. A nice white head, compact bubbles. Looks all right, looks pretty standard. I'm getting a bit of stone fruit in there as well. Like a peachiness. Anyway, cheers guys. Let's see if this is a cracker for the price. First impressions, again, it's not bad for the money. It's really not a bad beer. Again, you can tell you're drinking a budget beer. You can tell cutbacks have been made. You can tell it's not 3 or 4 quid a can. But it still tastes all right. It still tastes good. Maybe a slight wateriness again. But it's very, very sessionable. Again, it's just so easy drinking. Just glides straight down the hatch, a bit like the other one did. You know, there's not a great deal going on, but what's there is done quite well, and it's done in a very slight way where, for me, it feels like it's just designed to be sessioned. They're cheap, you can get a load in and you can just session on them. You know, instead of sessioning on your lagers, these are at that price where you can afford to actually have a session on a craft beer. I mean, you could grab a load of these for a barbecue or something like that and give your guests craft beer for, you know, less than a quid a can. You can't really complain, can you? Let's go again. There's grapefruit in there, citrus, like kind of a zesty, like a lemon zest or something. Like orange peel. So like sort of marmalade, orange peel taste in there. The fruits are very much in the background in there. Getting a slight kind of watery in the background hint of mango. It does have that West Coast IPA bitterness, but it's not crazy like a lot of them are. This is more of a sort of chilled out bitterness, but it is there. It tastes all right. It's nothing horrible about it at all, guys, really. It's quite dry from like the middle to the back end. You get this very sort of dryness that comes in, and it sort of sticks around for the next mouthful as well. But it's kind of that slightly moorish dryness. It's a nice dryness. It's all right. It could be a bit more bitter. It could be, but I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining for 90-something pence. I'm really not. I think they've done a good job. I really do. I think they've done a good job with this range, and hopefully I like the stout, because I don't tend to get on too well with them. But there is another one in the range, a stout, and I've got it in the fridge, and I might do that one tomorrow or the next day. Don't forget to score it this time, you mug. No, for the price, and I have to take the price into account, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I'm not saying it's as good as a 3 or 4 quid a can beer that I've gave an 8 out of 10. I'm just, the price is a big factor in these beers. These are here to save money. If you can afford to drink 4 quid a can beers and it's not going to bother your finances and that, you're not going to drink this, are you? You're not, because there's better beers out there. But for the price, taking everything into account, this is an 8 out of 10 for me. It's really drinkable. It's lacking in certain areas, which is perfectly understandable for me. I would get it again if I was, I fancied a craft beer and I didn't have the money for the big boys, so to speak. I'd quite happily drink that. It's just very, very drinkable. It's almost like toning everything down a little bit. It's just made them really sessionable. 5.6%, it doesn't really taste 5.6% either. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I do think it's worth a buy. Again, I'm not saying it's amazing, but I do think for that price it is worth a buy. And I could see myself actually getting these again. You just want something sessionable that don't cost too much money, that ain't lager. These are sort of right up there in that sort of category for me. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I do appreciate you all. And if you could hit that like button, I'd be much appreciated as well. And bye-bye, darlings. I'll see you on the next one, yeah?